Having a sexual experience with a narcissist is not less than sleeping with devil himself. It leaves you questioning your attractiveness and self-worth. You're left feeling like an object, confused about what just happened to you. They do not give you a closure and they make it all about themselves. Why is it so painful? Because of all their weird sexual behaviors and habits, which is what we are going to talk about thoroughly in today's episode. I am Danish, a psychologist and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. The topic for today's episode is 5 weird sexual habits and behaviors of a narcissist. If that sounds interesting and you're eager to find out more, please subscribe before we begin, because as I always request, your subscription to the channel may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Habit number 1, approach avoidance, which simply means when you approach them to have sex, they will always say no. It is guaranteed. They won't let things happen on your terms because they have to have it their way. They have to have power and control over you. So why would they agree? But tables are turned and things are twisted when they want it from you. If they feel like having sex, you have to give in. You have to say yes regardless of how you're feeling and what you are trying to recover from. Maybe you just got a surgery and only 2 days have passed. Your wounds are still fresh. You're trying to recover and get hold of your life. This narcissistic partner of yours demands sex. You can't say no, and they show no empathy whatsoever towards you. When and if you say no to them, they threaten you with cheating. They make it seem like they are going to step out of this relationship to meet their physical needs. But what about yours? What about your physical needs when you want to fulfill them? Oh, they do not matter to a narcissist. You can't have any, for you were created to only fulfill their needs. Being always rejected, having to hear no all the time makes you feel worthless. You feel like you're not attractive enough. You're too thin or too fat, or there is something wrong with your body, or you smell. These thoughts naturally come to your mind when you're not desired by your partner, and when they turn their face against you and they just kind of give you a pushback and make it seem like they don't want it when you want it. You truly start thinking that there is something wrong with you that you need to fix, and you try that. You lose weight, you gain weight, you change how you dress, you change how you smell, and still nothing fixes the situation. Weird habit number 2, they want to have sex immediately after an intense fight or an argument. Why? Because your pain is their pleasure. When they see you sad, they get aroused and they immediately want to patch up. It does not matter how you feel about it. It does not matter how much you're struggling and how much you have to complain about. They won't address any of the wrongdoings. They won't talk about their abusive behaviors. They won't talk about all the trauma they have caused you. They will expect you to play along and to give in. And when you give in such a volatile state, they feel like they're the king or the queen of this entire universe because they have won you over when you were totally broken. The other reason could be their desire to re-establish control. When they fight with you, they feel like they have lost all the power and they could lose you, which is what they do not want to happen, especially if you are their primary source of supply, if they do not have anybody else to go to. So to patch up, to rekindle love, what do? They want to make love to you. They want to have sex, which is nothing but pure objectification, for there is no intimacy. There is no soul to it. It's just like they rub their body against you and finish it up like that. This kind of frequency to sexual intimacy leads to the formation of a sexual trauma bond. You have low lows and then you have high highs. You have sex immediately after a fight. What does that do to your brain? Think about your biochemistry, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and Endorphins are released after being flooded with stress hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. That is a cocktail of hormones. That's a mess. And that's what keeps you entangled sometimes to a narcissist. That's why you seek that, because that's the only time you feel connection with them. That's the only time when you feel some kind of relaxation and freedom from constant panic and anxiety. Talking about trauma bond, you may want to check out my signature program called Break the Trauma Bond with a Narcissist in 5 Practical Steps. In this program, I'll help you understand how you actually get trauma bonded to a narcissist, what sustains this bond of Herculean strength, and how you can break yourself free. If you want to get instant access, click the I button above or the link in the description of this episode. Weird sexual habit number 3, controlling sexual positions. Now, this is not about positions in general. That's not the part of our discussion. It's not about preferences either. It's about dominance. A narcissist always prefers a type of a position that locks your body, and that turns you into a doll and you cannot move. Generally, they would want to be on top of you so that you are under them and they control your movement. Or they grab you all around your legs and arms, or locked up. You cannot move, you cannot participate. So they do things to your body, not to you. And when you try to participate, they stop you immediately and say, no, I don't like that, stop it. You're not allowed to feel yourself. They just want to use you, and that is what it is all about. The point is, sex to a narcissist is nothing but a way to feel control, to exert control and to feel dominant. That's it. They do not make love to you. They make love to their false self, because when they're doing it, they are boasting themselves. They're stroking their ego. See how good I am. See how I am able to make them feel it, and how they just are falling for it. That is my specialty. This kind of thinking is normally found in somatic narcissists, which we'll talk about more later. This type of a narcissist is body-centered, and they garner supply using their bodies. Weird habit number 4, excessive use of pornography. Now, this is not about porn. Some people have different preferences. Some people like to watch it together as a couple, and then that spices up their experience. Others do not prefer it. It's not about preferences, so let's not fight over if it is wrong or right. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm simply talking about how you are turned into an object and how they get gratification from watching porn, from looking at their screen instead of looking at you, the living person who is sitting next, waiting for them to connect emotionally. They choose artificial over real. They choose strangers over you. All of that is done non-consensually. They don't care if you want to watch porn as well or not. They just do it because they can't connect with reality. There is no authenticity. If they were to be here with you and enjoy the moment, wouldn't they have to be vulnerable? Wouldn't they have to be true to you? Wouldn't that make them feel weak? They don't like to feel weak. They would rather stay and live in their fantasy than be with you, than connect with you. That is why they choose porn over you. Not because you are less attractive or you do not matter. That is what they want you to think. That's what they want you to believe. They can't take responsibility, so they have to belittle somebody. They have to put it on you, and they have to say, oh, you are doing it the wrong way, or you're not attractive enough, you're not saying things properly, or your body lacks this and you have that. They have to have all the reasons, but the real reason is they're dead and they cannot connect with you at a deep emotional level. They're not capable of doing that. Should I say, they do not want to go there because that will make them feel their own suppressed stuff. Habit number 5, and the most destructive one, lack of intimacy, or treating your body like a toy. A lot of narcissists are quite intimate in the beginning. They make you feel like there is nobody out there with whom you can have such a strong sexual connection, which is what you crave later when they devalue you. Initially, they may adore you, they may make you feel touched because they have mastered the art of making people fall for their facade, and this is a part of it. But later they know how to withdraw it, how to crave it, how to starve you. This changed behavior of theirs is nothing but a part of the bigger strategy. They know how to make you doubt yourself and your attractiveness by withholding sex. They do it a lot. Yet there are some narcissists who are dead, who cannot offer any intimacy at all. Some of them do not like to kiss. If you kiss them on their lips, know that you are going to face the wrath. You are going to face the rage. They don't want to get there. I can't tell you exactly why, but there are so many narcissists out there who hate kissing. Maybe that makes them feel intimate. Maybe that triggers emotions. Maybe that makes them feel weak. Whatever it is, but they don't want to go there. Somatic narcissists, being on the other end of the spectrum, can create intense sexual chemistry on purpose. There won't be any emotionality to it, but it would be really intense, which is what could also create cognitive dissonance and make you think, well, there is something to hold on to. But nonetheless, it's all about them and their body. All in all, we can say they treat you like an object, they rub their bodies against you. It's not more than that. You are used as a toy, as an object. Once they're done with you, they throw you away. There's nothing after that. They don't even make eye contact. They don't actually hold you. You crave it, but they just use you. That is how sex feels with a narcissist. If you agree with me, if this is what your experience has been, let me know in the comments. That was it for today. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.